Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Nick with SirLinksalot, and today we're going to be deep diving into one of the most important topics for anyone who wants to be found online, which is search engine optimization, or SEO. And of course, now SEO isn't just about being found on Google and Bing, right? We're talking about AI, different LLMs, and a lot more. So all encompassing now, right? So whether you're a business owner, content creator, a blogger, whatever kind of marketer you are, you need to understand SEO because it's not just helpful, it's an absolutely essential way for you to be found online. So the entire point of this video series is going to be to give you a comprehensive guide that'll allow you to understand exactly what SEO is, how search engines and the like work, and more importantly, how to start implementing SEO strategies that are going to get your website noticed by both search engines, AI engines, and your target audience in general. So, what is SEO? Well, let's start with the basics. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and simply put, it's the process of optimizing your website and content to increase its visibility across search engines like Google, and even in AI assistants like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, you name it. Fun little fact is that Google processes over 8.5 billion searches per day, which means that there are incredible opportunities for your business to be discovered by people actively looking for what you offer. And SEO isn't just about getting clicks anymore. It's about making sure you get mentioned in search results, snippets, summaries, and web content in general. The goal is actually helping search engines understand that your brand deserves to be seen when people search for topics related to your business. It's pretty much that simple if you want to conceptualize it. So think of SEO as your website's way of communicating with search engines. When done correctly, it tells Google and other search engines, hey, this content is valuable, reliable, and trustworthy. And then essentially, please show us to the people looking for this information. It's really as simple as that if you're trying to tie the room together. So why does SEO matter more than ever right now? Well, here's the reality. People are likely searching for what you do on Google or Bing, sometimes even through AI assistants. If your business doesn't appear where those topics get searched, you're missing out on a potential customer who's actually looking for products or something related to your business. Fact number 2 that I'll go ahead and put out there on that is that according to research by Ahrefs, to replicate 5.6 million monthly organic visits with paid ads would cost around $4.2 million per month. Proof that strong SEO is going to create lasting and compounding value, especially when it's done properly and you're not threatened by, getting hit by an algo update or something of the sort. Unlike paid advertising, organic visibility doesn't cost you every time someone sees or interacts with your content. And that's widely the allure of focusing in on SEO as part of your marketing strategy. Once you rank well for important keywords, that visibility can continue generating traffic and leads month after month. SEO also helps your business appear where people are actively searching or asking questions. So whether that's a traditional search or, AI summaries, the more people see your website appear in their search results and conversations, the more likely they're going to have a favorable, thought process on you and potentially make a future purchase from you or something like that. This is this new conceptualization of ad recall, right? Only instead of just seeing it flash before your eyes on a commercial or something like that or a billboard, you're getting constant recall on what these people are searching for. Personally, I think that's a lot more powerful. So let's talk a little bit about how these search engines work. Essentially, I'd say there's probably like a 3-stage process on this. So to understand SEO, you've got to understand how these search engines operate. Google and other search engines work through a 3-stage process that every website basically has to navigate in order to get found within there. I think the days of SEO companies saying, well, nobody knows how their algorithm works at all. It's the most closely guarded. These people don't have an education on it. And, it's not really that complex. So let's simplify it. Stage 1 is going to be crawling, right? So the first stage is crawling. Google and similar search engines use automated programs called crawlers or bots or spiders. The most famous one being Googlebot, of course, to explore the web constantly, looking for new and updated pages. So another little fact that goes along with that is that Google doesn't have a central registry of all web pages. So it's like constantly looking for new and updated pages, crawling billions of pages using a huge set of computers. So you think of crawlers like these digital explorers, so to speak. They start with known URLs and follow links from page to page, discovering new content along the way. As Martin Splitt from Google explains, we start somewhere with some URLs and then basically follow links from there on. So we're basically crawling our way through the internet page by page using backlinks, right? So during crawling, Google also renders your pages using a recent version of Chrome, running any JavaScript to see your content the same way users do. Now, this is crucial because many websites rely on JavaScript to display that content. The second stage worth talking about is indexing or indexation. So after crawling, Google moves to indexing. This is where Google tries to understand what each page is about by processing and analyzing the textual content. Key content tags like title elements, alt attributes, images, videos, and more. During indexing, Google determines if a page is a duplicate of another page on the internet and selects the canonical version, or the page that may be shown in search results. Google also collects signals about the page, including the language, local relevance, and usability of it. All this information gets stored in Google Index, right? Its archive, which is essentially a massive database hosted on thousands of computers around the world. The third stage worth talking about is serving search results based on the last two things we talked about, crawlability and indexation. The final stage happens when someone searches. So Google's machines search the index for matching pages and return results they believe are, of the highest quality based on their algorithm and most relevant to the user's query. So a fun fact about that, relevancy is determined by hundreds of factors, including the user's location, language used, device type, search history, and things of that nature. And so this is where all of your SEO efforts pretty much pay off. If you've optimized your content correctly, Google's going to consider your pages relevant and valuable enough to showcase to the searchers looking for this stuff. And that's the entire embodiment of what we want to do as SEOs ourselves. So let's talk about the 3 pillars of SEO success. Now that you've got a rough understanding of how search engines work, let's talk about what you need to do or focus on for SEO success. I like to think of SEO as having basically 3 main pillars, or as some experts call it, the SEO soup. I guess Moz is the one noted for saying that. But pillar 1, technical SEO, or the bowl as we like to call it. Technical SEO represents the foundation. So like the bowl that holds the soup. Without proper technical setup, nothing else matters. This is going to include things like website speed and performance. Google uses page speed as a ranking factor, and slow sites lose visitors quickly. It's also not a preference for somebody to be on a slow site, right? Now, as veteran SEOs, we know some of this it's a little less weight than, they'd like you to believe, but we don't need to talk about that quite yet. These still all factor in. Other stuff, mobile friendliness. So more searches happen on mobile than desktop now. Everybody is on their cell phone constantly looking for stuff. HTTPS security. So your site, the preference is that it be encrypted with SSL or TLS certificates. Crawlability. Search engines need to be able to find your access pages, right? All of this has to be crawlable and digestible in order for you to be found in these indexes. And then, of course, site structure. So the logical organization of how your website is structured helps both the users and the search engines themselves navigate your content freely, right? For pillar number 2, we'll call this, and again, going with Moz, the quality content or the soup. Content is the heart of SEO, the actual soup. Google's primary goal is providing the best user experience, which means showing high quality, helpful content that answers the searcher's question, right? Fun fact to go along with that is that quality content is undeniably the most important SEO factor, with 5 out of 10 critical ranking factors being held related, content related. And this is according to Moz, right? I, as a backlink heavy guy, can't argue this still because, if you are not focused on the on-page factors, the way that your content is laid out, you're going to have a hard time manipulating any other variables to get SEO to work for you. So, there is some basis to this whole concept. So, what does great SEO content look like, or what should it read like? Well, it should be well researched and comprehensive, cover topics, thoroughly, should be original and unique. So provide fresh perspectives and insights. And this one, as we go, in the higher levels of this course, is very important, specifically now for the rise of LLMs and AI. But original and unique, bring something new to the table. Please remember that, right? User focused is another thing it should be. Answer real questions people are asking. It should also be well written, easy to read, grammatically correct, and engaging. Again, this is both for the crawlers themselves and the people that land on your website. And that it should be up to date, regularly refreshed with current information. You're going back over content, you're giving it a little new spin here and there, etc. The third pillar is, of course, my favorite, authority and links, or as Moz called it, the seasoning on the soup. So the third pillar involves building authority through quality backlinks, like seasoning that enhances that entire dish. When other reputable websites link to your content, it signals to Google that your site is trustworthy and valuable. It's, emulating everybody is talking about this new hot entity, person, business, whatever that might be, right? So a little fun fact based around that is that Google views high quality backlinks essentially as like votes of confidence from other websites, which boosts your site's authority and in turn your ranking within search as well. And so understanding keywords becomes sort of like the foundation of your SEO strategy. So keywords are like the bridge between what people search for and the content that you're providing. Effective keyword research should be basically your very first step in any SEO strategy. Types of keywords that you might have are short tail keywords, so like broad terms like coffee, marketing, right? Things of that nature. And then you've got long tail keywords. So these are going to be more specific, and they're typically going to be kind of like phrases. So let's say best organic coffee beans for espresso or something of that nature, right? Like it's longer, but it's a search query that somebody might look up. A fact based around this is that approximately 70% of all search traffic comes from these long tail keywords, which tend to have lower competition than, the higher keywords. Like getting ranked for coffee is probably going to be arguably a lot harder than best organic coffee beans for, whatever type of coffee. It's not arguably harder. It is harder 100%. So, long tail keywords are often more valuable in a sense because they indicate a stronger purchase intent. Someone searching for coffees, I don't know what they're browsing for exactly, right? It's very general, how to make it, where to find it. Is there one close to me? A coffee store, right? But somebody searching for buy, let's say organic fair trade coffee beans online, they know what they're looking for and they're more likely to make a purchase based on that search intent, right? Simple. So speaking of which, what are the types of search intent? Well, I'd say there's probably 4 of them or so. Understanding search intent is crucial for creating content that's going to be ranking for you in the future. So we've got these 4 types. One would be navigational. searching for a specific website or brand, right? We know what we're looking for. We're trying to find them and go to their website. Informational, looking for some general information or answers based on, what it is we want to learn about. Commercial, researching before making a purchase, right? So like, reviews, things of that nature. And transactional, I am ready to buy something, buy organic coffee beans, right? Something of that nature. So those are the 4 types there: navigational, informational, commercial, transactional. So always analyze the search results for your target keywords to understand what type of content Google wants to show for these specific queries. Yes, it is that simple. Type in the query you'd like to rank for, and then even without any fancy tools, just from the get-go, you can go look at what's ranking there, and that's key to what the algorithm wants to see within that search query, right? And they are all different. All right, so let's talk about on-page SEO, or optimizing your content. On-page SEO involves optimizing individual pages so that they rank higher and earn more relevant traffic. So here's the key elements you'd need in order to optimize a piece of content from the perspective of ranking with SEO in mind. Title tags and meta descriptions, basic stuff. Your title tag is one of the most important on-page SEO elements. It should include your target keyword, and preferably near the beginning. Be compelling enough to encourage clicks, and stay under 60 characters to avoid any kind of like truncation, right? Meta descriptions don't directly impact your rankings, but influence click-through rate, right? This is what somebody sees as they're searching under the title of the article or website that they're about to click on. So you want these to be well-written and compelling descriptions that include your keyword and encourage users to like visit your page, right? After that, we'll talk about URL structure. And this one is incredibly potent when deciding what you're going after as far as keyword research goes. So you want to keep your URLs simple, descriptive, and keyword rich. So for example, a good one would be yoursite.com /SEO dash beginners dash guide, right? Like we know that's the main target we want to rank for, beginners SEO beginners guide, right? A bad example is if you've written content for an SEO beginners guide, right? But then you've let the permalink be whatever. So yoursite.com / I don't know, you see them like P = 1596958, whatever, right? That is not descriptive at all. Now, this might matter to like an end user, but who it really matters to are these crawlers that are trying to digest the information, what your page is about. So getting that URL structure correct, specifically, geared towards the keyword you're trying to go after, is paramount here. After that, you've got things like heading tags. These are going to be your H1, H2, H3s, right? Like the titles within the page work. So use header tags to structure your content logically. Include your target keyword in the H1 tag and use subheadings to kind of break up that content and improve readability. All of this speaks to both the end user as well as the crawlers involved. Next, we're going to talk about internal linking, and we'll start off with a fun fact here, which is that internal links help search engines discover new pages on your site and understand your site's structure while passing authority between pages. This is from Google developers itself, okay? There's a lot of merit in these transactions. So, link to related content within your site using descriptive anchor text. This is going to help search engines understand the context and relationship between all of these pages on your website. Next, we'll talk about technical SEO essentials. While technical SEO might sound pretty intimidating, I know it always has been for me, if I'm being honest, as a fledgling SEO. There's several fundamental elements every website owner or business owner needs to know about and execute on as far as technical SEO, right? So one is going to be site speed optimization. Page speed is a confirmed ranking factor. I'm not going to say that it holds a tremendous amount of weight, but it does hold weight. And so to improve your site speed, you optimize images by compressing them using appropriate formats. You can do this with plugins, etc. if you're on WordPress. Minimize HTTP requests. Use browser caching. Choose a reliable web hosting provider. And, if you're really getting advanced, and I do this with all my sites, you probably want to use a content delivery network or CDN like Cloudflare. All of this stuff is going to help, with that page speed and get you where you need to be. Now, I know a lot of people are always looking for those perfect 95 plus scores on GT metrics, etc. You don't need to go that crazy with it, but giving the user and the bots a better experience as far as speed goes will matter in the end. Another one is going to be mobile optimization. So let's start off with a fact here, which is Google uses mobile first indexing, meaning that it primarily uses the mobile version of your site for indexing and ranking. Again, this is Google developers talking, okay? So you're going to want to ensure that your website uses responsive design that adapts to different screen sizes, that it loads quickly on mobile devices specifically, that it's easily clickable, the buttons and everything and links from a smaller device all the way up to a, large format screen, and that it displays content properly without horizontal scrolling or anything that somebody might have to do if they are on a smaller screen. Next, we'll talk about XML sitemaps. And an XML sitemap basically helps search engines understand your site structure and find all the important pages cataloged in one place. So most content management systems can generate sitemaps automatically, like WordPress, etc. Will give you plugins to do it. But you should then submit them to Google Search Console for best results. And yeah, you can have more than one of them, and they can have different layouts, etc. But it's essentially like a table of contents for crawlers, if you want to put it simply. After that, let's get back into some topics that I absolutely adore: link building and authority building. Building authority through quality backlinks remains one of the most important ranking factors. However, link building has evolved significantly from the early days of SEO. And a lot of people that, were back in the heyday of spamming out websites would now say backlinking is dead, but really it's just shifted to a more refined format where you're emulating press on a very high level. So, most important thing to discuss with this is what makes a quality backlink. Well, we've got relevance. So links from sites in your industry or related topics are going to help, or even, at a page topical response, like you're getting that kind of relevance there. Authority. So, links from established, trustworthy websites hold more weight than small mom and pop style websites, but sometimes it's about blending those factors together. Getting natural placement, so links that fit the context of what's being discussed within the article. It's not just something randomly thrown in there, right? And then that you get these links from diverse sources, so links from various types of websites and domains. This includes the strength of the websites, what they discuss, where within the website you get that link placement, etc. All of this is going to build a sort of like a press narrative. So let's go into white hat link building strategies right out of the gate. So this is how you'd be focused on earning links naturally, doing things like creating exceptional linkable content, making something go viral, something of that nature. You could be building relationships with industry influencers that then discuss your products or your business. You could do guest posting on relevant authority sites is always a good one, where you're giving them content to showcase and it has a link from you in there. Participating in industry and community forums, that's another way to get links, although they're going to be not as strong as something on a website, contextual backlink on a website rather, but still valuable. And then, of course, creating valuable resources like tools, guides, research that somebody else might link to from there. So, white hat is for the concept of not buying links or doing something that Google terms of service looks down upon, right? So once you've kind of got a grasp on this, how do you measure SEO success? So one thing to note is that SEO is going to be an ongoing process, and it's going to require consistent monitoring and adjustment throughout the time that you're doing it. So let's discuss some key metrics that would be worth including in what you're tracking. 1, organic traffic. Monitor your organic search traffic through Google Analytics. This is all the people that find you through search that then come to your website from there. Look for trends over time rather than just like day-to-day fluctuations. You'll see a lot of newer SEOs, and in like a 1 week time span, they're like, oh no, my traffic dropped off. You have to look at the big picture. You're not going to be able to see it in a short time frame like that. Keyword rankings. You want to track your rankings for target keywords using tools like Google Search Console or dedicated rank tracking tools, and there are a ton of them. Click-through rates, CTR. Monitor how people, go to your website, how often they're clicking on your listings through the search results. Low CTR might indicate that like titles and descriptions needed some optimization to get people, coming to your website from that search query. Then you can look at conversion rates. Ultimately, SEO should be driving business results. That's what we're all after here, right? So track how well your organic traffic converts into leads, sales, or other desired actions, depending on what your website and your business are after. Some common SEO mistakes that I would say to avoid. So as you begin your SEO journey, we've all been there. We've all had different mindsets, different places we're learning from. Some common pitfalls that I would say to avoid: keyword stuffing. So don't unnaturally force keywords into your content. This is where you stuff keywords within the content, trying to, show over representation of what this content is about. The algorithm has gotten a long way within the last 20 years, and it can kind of read between the lines, and it does not like keyword stuffing anymore. Ignoring user experience. So focus on helping users, not just gaming the search engine. Another one is neglecting mobile optimization. So ensure your site works perfectly on all devices again. And this is pretty easy if you're using something like WordPress in conjunction with, any number of the website builders that you might use on there. Another one would be copying content. Always create original content. Duplicate content gets sniped. The bots now, know if you're even taking content that's been out of index and repurposing that, it's not going to work for you. One of the biggest ones is quit expecting immediate results. SEO takes time, and we're talking about like 3 to 6 month time frame where you're, before you're seeing results that can be like kind of quantifiable for you. So it is a long game play, and you do have to believe in the systems that you're working on in order to get that website there. It's why I would say majority of new fledgling SEOs kind of fail in their first 6 months to a year. And then another one is when you focus entirely on your rankings. Remember that rankings should really be leading to a sort of business outcome. So, are you getting sales after you're getting rankings? Are they, adding up to your bottom line of whatever it is you're trying to get reach for? So now that we've discussed a lot of this stuff, let's do a little getting started sort of SEO action plan for you. Okay. So you've stated now you're ready to begin your SEO journey. So here's your step-by-step action plan that I would say would work. Immediate action, right? So week 1 to week 2. You're going to set up your Google Search Console and analytics. And again, this is after you already have a website, right? We're talking about you've got the website and the fundamentals. Set up Search Console and Google Analytics, number 1. Number 2, ensure your site has HTTPS enabled. Just best way to go. Number 3, check that your site is mobile friendly. And we're talking about cell phone, also tablets, worthwhile, wide screens. And then 4, let's create or verify your XML sitemap. Ensure that that is getting crawled. That's the quickest way for indexation to work for your website. Number 5, and the last one, conduct basic keyword research for your industry so that you've got a good topical map to flow off of, right? That's it's going to be of tremendous help that you do things that way, and that you're not just targeting random things that you think are getting search intent, etc. Because this can lead to all sorts of other issues like keyword cannibalization, etc. So you want a well-defined topical map based on keyword research to move off of. Then let's go to short-term goals. So months like 1 through 3. Number 1, optimize your most important pages with target keywords. So the higher, more competitive things that you're going after, you want to make sure that you are optimizing them. They've got a lot of interlinks from other pages coming up, using those more broad term keywords, or more specific keywords, sorry. Number 2, improve your site's loading speed. This can take a while, especially as your site grows. It's going to get more bloat issues. But if you stay on top of that throughout the whole thing, it's going to be a lot easier than if you come in and try and fix page speed all at once after a year of throwing up, whatever. Number 3, create a content calendar based on keyword research. So having a constant amount of content coming up is a positive for the algorithm, and it gives the algorithms, reason to recrawl you consistently. This in turn also gives clientele, more content that solidifies you as an industry leader on whatever it is your website's about. Number 4, don't forget to build those internal links between related pages. They are incredibly valuable. And that anchor text you use for those internal links adds a lot of value for what the page is about, right? From a crawler standpoint. And then last but not least, begin creating high quality, comprehensive content. And again, make sure it is bringing something new to the table. This is very important now with the rise of LLMs. And then let's talk about long-term strategy. And this is going to be 3 to 12 plus months, right? See a lot of people that get lazy after they start ranking for a bit and they just work on backlinks, etc. So number 1, consistently publish valuable content and don't stop doing that. There is literally no industry where you would need to stop or you'd complete the topical map at some point. It's just not going to happen. You can keep going. Even if this is just like, one piece of content per week, it doesn't matter. It adds something. Number 2, build relationships for natural link acquisition or relationships for the appearance of natural link acquisition. There's a lot of ways to do this. Don't forget, SirLinksalot.co is one of the best in the game to plug our own stuff. But yeah, build relationships. You need links. It's something that you are going to have to pursue in some fashion or another. Number 3, monitor and adjust your strategy based on performance data. So again, not day in, day out, I'm in Ahrefs or my rank tracker and I've lost a couple keywords. No, the overall view of what is going on with my website. Is it consistently going up in search? Is it coming down? Over how long a period of time, etc. But that's how you really decide what to adjust, is by seeing the cadence of all this and kind of moving slow with it. But having an analytical mindset to it as well, right? Because a lot of these things you're going to have to make a decision on that then take a while to develop in the form of search traffic coming back your way. So like a well-rounded education on how these algorithms work is going to be your, most important tool when trying to, be a good SEO. Number 4, expand into new keyword opportunities. This is something that's never ending as well. In your pursuit of new content, you're going to constantly be doing keyword research and going after new keywords regularly. Sometimes with some of the stuff, like you're looking for concepts before the keyword even has data on how many people are searching for it. So like say a new product comes out, you can review that new product if it kind of falls under the umbrella. But there's a lot of ways to do this kind of stuff. And then last, continuously improve your user experience. When you're doing this, you're also adjusting parts about your website, which shows that somebody is actively caring about this website and building it out, which is a positive to the crawlers as well. So to conclude, because I think this has all been a mouthful and you might need to watch it a couple of times if you're really new, just to grasp the basics of what SEO is. But SEO might be, I know for me it was pretty overwhelming at first. But just remember that the fundamentals are about creating valuable content that's going to be helping people. At the same time, it's going to be making it easier for search engines to understand and find that content. And that's essentially what you're working on. So the key to SEO success is thinking long-term and focusing on your users first. When you create content that genuinely helps people and provides real value, search engines are going to start recognizing that quality and reward you with what you're after, which is better visibility. So start with the basics that we've covered. You can do that today. Ensure your technical foundation is solid. Create high quality content around keywords that your audience is searching for, and then gradually build authority through valuable resources that other sites want to link to, right? That is the entire concept here from a broad stroke. Now remember, SEO is a marathon. It is not a sprint, right? The websites that succeed in search are those that consistently provide value over time. So be patient, stay consistent, and keep learning as the kind of like SEO landscape evolves, which since I got involved over a decade ago, there's never been a day that goes by where something isn't changing or there's not some new information to digest and be had, right? Like you've got to be on top of this, like other ever-changing practices, being a lawyer, being a doctor, etc. There's always new information to digest and go off of and build from. So I think that's about it. Thanks for joining me on this kind of comprehensive introduction to SEO. I know there was a lot of newer people coming in and we had a lot of, actionable advice on more technical stuff. So I thought, this is the beginning of a coursework series that I hope allows people to kind of digest a lot of this stuff. If you found this guide helpful, of course, the plug, make sure to subscribe to SirLinksalot for more in-depth SEO tutorials and strategies, etc. Join us in SEO Roundtable on Facebook, our group where we're extremely active. And don't forget to look into like some of our products, specifically things like the Managed Link Building program, where we do full reporting for you on one of the more, confusing aspects of SEO. So next video, I believe we'll be talking about most likely keyword research, the tools and techniques involved in doing that, and allowing yourself to get that, blown out topical map that you'd want to base content off of. I guess until next time, keep optimizing, or at least get started optimizing. And remember, great SEO starts with great content that serves your audience first, and then you are playing with a bunch of variables that will add to that whole narrative. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm Nick signing off, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, make sure to give us a like, drop a comment, subscribe, so you don't miss out on any future SEO insights. And hey, if you're serious about your rankings, head over to SirLinksalot.co, check out our premium link building services, guides, and free SEO tools. See you next time.